So after many rumors, a lot of bitching and complaining, a lot of speculation, James Harden is finally a part of the LA Clippers, man. And the Delusional Warriors fan has got a lot to say about this one. Let's talk about it. What's going on YouTube? It's NYC Cincy in the building, you heard. And we back in another video, man. It's a new series on my channel. You feel me? We're going to be talking about things in the media and things in the NBA world. I'm going to just be chatting to y'all, man. But look, first things first, man. James Harden and PJ Tucker were sent to the Clippers for Marquise Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, a 26 and 28 first-round pick, 2 second-rounders, and a pick swap. This was a crazy trade. I'm not even going to lie. Listen, bro. James Harden has been complaining all fucking year, bro, about not wanting to be in Philly. He's been acting like Ben Simmons. And honestly, this surprised me. But being that I'm a Delusional Warriors fan, man, we still good in the West. I ain't worried about none of this at all, you feel me? But look, I feel like personally, man, if James Harden, if they don't even make it to like out the second round, this is a complete failure. And I honestly feel like the NBA is leaving James Harden behind. And to be honest with you, I feel like this is his last chance to really prove himself to the world that he's at least still decent. You know, even though he's a history playoff choker, I still feel like obviously James Harden is still effective. He's not the same Houston James Harden that he was a couple years ago when he was busting our ass, right? He's a little bit easier to guard now, but he's still averaged 21 and 10. So he's still effective in the league. He's not just completely washed, you know. He's getting a little bit older, you feel me? But he's still quite effective and he could bring a lot to a team. I feel like everyone won here, to be honest with you. If you've been watching Philadelphia games, Tyrese Maxey been going crazy and Joel gonna be Joel. And honestly, they've been looking pretty fine without James Harden. And now they got more pieces they put around Joel and Tyrese. And it's just gonna be great for both sides. It was great for both sides, you know. Definitely, I feel like Philly, y'all still not making it nowhere far. Y'all don't never make it nowhere far, right? I know I'm talking shit, but I'm just being honest. And the Clippers, y'all have a history of choking, but now y'all got 4 All-Stars, so at least if Paul George and Kawhi just happen to go down like they do every year towards the start of the playoffs or toward the middle of the playoffs, y'all still have 2 All-Stars with James Harden and Russell Westbrook to carry y'all, even though we already seen how this story went in Houston. Like I said earlier, personally, I feel like if they don't make it to at least the conference finals, it's gonna look really bad for the Clippers, man. It's gonna look really bad for the Clippers. And I know Kawhi and Paul George are on their last couple deals. You know, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be entering free agency next season, or their contract is gonna be expiring pretty soon. And James Harden also wants money, so we really got to see how this one is gonna work out, you know. But like I said, if they don't make it far, this is a complete bust. But the Clippers definitely got a super team. 4 All-Stars, Russ, PG, Kawhi, James Harden. This is definitely a super team, man. But is it going to be a healthy team? We already know how Kawhi likes to play. Personally, Kawhi, he likes to get into his spots, in my opinion. I think he likes to get to his spots. He likes to get into his sets, that mid-range area. Kawhi obviously can create for himself. But I feel like with James Harden on the floor, he's going to have, he's going to have so much space that it should be good. It should be easier for him to get buckets. And honestly, with James Harden being on the floor, being on the team, his usage rate, it shouldn't even be that high. You know, I know Kawhi usually gets injured around towards the end of the year. He's kind of frail. He's pretty much injury prone, unfortunately, at this point in his career. So having another all-star that can score and play make, not only for him but for the whole team, I think it's gonna be a great thing for Kawhi. Also, the only person I feel like this trade really hurts is Russell Westbrook. Why do I feel like it hurts Russell Westbrook? Because Russell Westbrook, as we know, he is the best. He plays his best with the ball in his hand. And James Harden, someone being a very ball-dominant player, while he can play off the ball, yes, I feel like James Harden is also another person who is the most effective on ball, excuse me. And that hurts Russ quite a bit, at this point in his career, even though Russ is not the scorer he used to be, he's not averaging a triple-double, he can still score. He can still get buckets, right? In transition, then the half court, occasionally when he wants to, when he's on, he's on. But the thing is, it can go two ways, With James Harden being on the floor and, just sitting corner or just provide the spacing that he provides, it should be easier for Russ to get buckets, but I feel like it'll be a bit harder for him to make plays. And sometimes teams could take advantage of the fact that he can't shoot. And Russell Westbrook is not afraid to shoot it at all, but he might shoot throughout the fucking game. So, this could be quite an issue for us. Do also remember a couple years ago, Kawhi asking for a point guard specifically that can push the pace. And Russell Westbrook definitely does that. He's still very athletic. He's taking the ball and running in transition. He's making the defense collapse damn near all the time. And yes, while he could kick out to James Harden, I feel like it hurts. It does. I feel like it does hurt him a little bit. I think Russ will be fine. But like I said earlier, we did see how this played out with Houston with James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and it might not go well, especially if, again, like they usually do, Paul George and Kawhi go down towards the end of the season, and it's just James Harden and Russell Westbrook. It'll be easier to hone in on his weaknesses and really lock in on James Harden, since he's not the same as he used to be when they did play together. And it could be really bad, but we will just have to see. I'm talking about that affects James Harden is Paul George. Now, honestly, I feel like Paul George, the same thing when I said with Kawhi, he provides that extra spacing. You have to guard James Harden because he can knock down an open shot, right? But honestly, Paul George he plays in his own place. He plays at his own pace, and he's more like freelance. You can run sets for Paul. He is the second option on the team, but Paul can take over at any given moment. And honestly, having James Harden on the floor definitely takes that pressure off of Paul George. Even though James Harden has a history of choking in the playoffs, sometimes Paul George will turn up in the playoffs, but Kawhi won't be there. So this time, James Harden is here to provide that extra star power, and he definitely will get easier buckets from James Harden, and with Russ pushing the pace. I think Paul will probably have a really, really, really good year because of these two. James Harden naturally should defer to the two best scorers on the team, as I would assume he would in this point in his career. So, I don't see why he wouldn't create easier buckets for Paul George. Anyway, that's the end of this video, man. It's NYC Cincy. We're going to have to see how this season plays out, but the Warriors are still winning the championship at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter. Have a great day, man. Subscribe for more, and I love all y'all.